Now in this video we will begin with the posterior white column that contains fasciculus, gracilis and cuneatus. Main thing to know from here is long ascending and short descending fibers which will be present over here. That is, when the tract is going upwards, it will have long fibers, the long ascending ones. Now let's go to the diagram. Now this diagram is very much enough to understand what is actually happening, and it's very easy. I will explain it to you very easily. So first of all, we know there are always going to be three types of cell bodies. Like there are going to be the first order neurons, the second order neurons and the third order neurons, always and always. Now the location of this for the posterior column is very much different. Also, as we know, the posterior column is the most latest one, and it is involved in the transmission of the impulses which are to be transmitted very fastly, like fast pain, fast touch, vibration. All these sensations, they are going to be passed from the posterior tract. Now what happens is that touch receptor, the proprioceptor means they are coming from the limbs of the body, they go into the gray matter and they will move on the ipsilateral side. Ipsilateral means same side. And similarly, from the cervical region, they will go and they will move to the ipsilateral side. Now, one thing that you need to note is that from the lower limbs, the sacral and the lumbar regions, we are having the fasciculus. This fiber is here known as a fasciculus, and the fasciculus here is the fasciculus gracilis, which is coming from the lower limb. From the upper limb, that is the cervical region, upper 6 thoracic vertebra, this is known as the cervical one, whereas C is for cervical, and the fasciculus here will be the fasciculus cuneatus. Now the thing over here is that this coming from the lower limb comes out to be fasciculus gracilis. Also, we can remember it from the name that our lower limbs have the gracilis muscle, right? And C is for cervical and C is for cuneatus. So fasciculus cuneatus over here. Now they will end in the mid-thalamus. Not in the thalamus, rather in the medulla, where they will have their own nucleus. So first order neuron, it begins and now it ends in the medulla, in the nucleus of the medulla, which are the fasciculus gracilis will end in the nucleus gracilis, and the fasciculus cuneatus will end in the nucleus cuneatus. From here, second order neurons will be produced. These second order neurons will then travel through the midbrain. But now how will they travel? They will go on the contralateral side. Contralateral means that if they are coming from the right side, they will go on to the left side. This is the crossing over that happens whenever they are going to leave from the medulla. And when they cross over, now they are known as the internal arcuate fibers. The internal arcuate fibers, they will go upward now and they will both be connected together and they will form the medial lemniscus. Another lemniscus that we studied, that was the anterior and the lateral one. They combine to form the spinal lemniscus. It was the lateral one, whereas on the medial side we have the medial lemniscus. And how is it formed? By fasciculus gracilis and cuneatus come to the medulla. They have their pons. Come to the medulla. In the medulla, they form connections with the nucleus gracilis and nucleus cuneatus, and then internal arcuate fibers emerge from them, cross on the contralateral side. They will move upwards and form medial lemniscus that will now end in the thalamus. Now here, how it will end in the thalamus? It will end in the ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. From this region, what will happen? Third order neurons will originate. These third order neurons will give their connection to the post-central gyrus or the sensory cerebral cortex. Very much simple. So now for a little bit of understanding, I made this diagram on my own. It's not very neat, but you can understand the things over here. Now from the fasciculus gracilis, which is coming medially, the fasciculus cuneatus, which will come laterally, both of them will travel upwards. to the level of the medulla, where they will form connections with the nucleus, gracilis and cuneatus respectively. Now they will cross over. You can see the crossing over here. After crossing over, they will go. This movement on the same side is ipsilateral. Movement where they cross over is that they are going to get contralateral. Now when they reach the thalamus, in the thalamus, what they are going to do is they are going to attach to the ventral posterolateral nucleus, and from the ventral posterolateral nucleus they will go similar to the anterior and the lateral ones, that they will go through the posterior limb of the internal capsule, and they will give their corona radiata, which will go into the cerebrum, into the cerebral cortex, the post-central gyrus, and they will conduct all the sensory information that is to be transmitted very rapidly. That is the posterior column. One thing that you should always be knowing is the how much fibers are in the fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. So fasciculus gracilis, that is coming from the lower limbs, it will have the sacral, the lumbar and the lower 6 thoracic spinal nerves. And the fasciculus cuneatus, it will have upper 6 thoracic spinal nerves and upper cervical segments. This is all.